Hello, everyone. So today we're going to talk about the DOJ, the FEC, and the SEC and their lack of action against Google. If this doesn't show you that Amazon and Apple is where the government is, then we don't know what does. The federal government at this point is seemingly the swamp. The FEC and the SEC should have given them an ultimatum or shut them down today. The DOJ should have filed emergency orders at dawn and raided their offices. They have effectively performed a coup against the current administration. We believe here at Dang It that this is a military-style coup. You have Nancy Pelosi kind of backdooring the Pentagon into allowing them to have the nuke codes and not Trump. Her group of people should have the nuke codes. These people are tremendously hungry for power that they cannot get it fast enough. But we say ban the banners. If these people are so into banning everyone off of every platform ever, and anyone who speaks wrong think they're going to get away kicking them off the platforms, demonetizing them, ban-hammering them to death, etc., etc. We've seen it ourselves on this very channel. These people that are in this country selling their ware is under the United States jurisdiction of rule. You have a platform that is not allowing free speech. And it's not just one platform. These people are going scorched earth, folks. They are shutting down the president. They are shutting down Ron Paul. And sooner or later, if you're a Republican, they're going to shut you down too. And when are these Bernie Sanders bros gulags going to show up? Because first it's you're not allowed to talk out against your accusers. And then your accusers go ahead and put you in the gulags. So you just wonder when that's supposed to happen. You hate everyone that talks against you so badly that they have to be shut up. This is the society that we all want around us. It sounds like a dangerous proposition. Some of you Democrats out there that are talking all this crap about censorship is wonderful, understand that it could be you one day that they're shutting up. When we grew up, the worst thing that we could talk about with freedom of speech was the fact that the NWA came out with a song called F the Police, in which they talk about police officers being pigs and the right to take their lives. Nonetheless, it went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court dictated that that was under freedom of speech. So we can talk about cop killing, but we cannot talk about the election being a big fat F. We can't talk about Republican policies. Does anyone understand that this is Banana Republic stuff? This is Russia tactics. The Kremlin and the KGB practice the same monologue. They preach to you all day about how great they are, and they censor anyone else that has any opinion. The China CCP, the same policy applies. We use media to dictate that we are these great illustrious leaders that everybody loves. And underscoring the situation is that they're rounding up billionaires that dare talk bad about them, stopping media outlets from talking bad about their rulers. This is what America is starting to become, and there's a reason why patriots or protesters, whatever you want to call them, raided the Capitol. That wasn't about just Trump. There was more to it than just Trump. These people are mad at government in general. You failed them, you've attacked them, and now they're starting to feel really desperate. COVID lockdowns have really restricted their ability to make funds. You give them a pittance of $600 and expect it to be okay, whether it's in Texas or New York. Even $2,000 would be a joke at this point. But these media outlets and the social media outlets, they are fine with censoring anything, and that should be worrisome to you. You should know that it's really dangerous to censor anything, because in that, you can't investigate. You can't talk about a situation. And if there's no talking about it, then nothing can ever change. The people in power will always remain there. And right now, we're hearing that the Insurrection Act could, in fact, be enacted, that Trump may have actually signed the paperwork. Currently, right now, there's 15,000 troops sitting there around the Capitol area, guarding the place. Now, whether or not they're out there to be involved in the Insurrection Act, or they're preparing themselves for probably what's going to come, we imagine a lot of patriots, a lot of red-blooded Americans are kind of tired of being told, suffer through this long-winded deal, but because you're white and you want to pass all these social reforms, that you're going to suffer more, that your business is not important. Because remember, Biden came out and said that he wanted to be the most diverse and fair and equal president that anyone ever had. However, he was putting his concentration into blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Asians. We feel like you're trying to leave your own people out of the equation. Don't you think, Mr. Biden, that they've also been through enough? Not every white person is completely rich. If you think that, then you've been living in this fake world that we've always thought you have. But with the DOJ and the FBI not doing anything about people violating our freedoms of speech in such a mega way, with them not doing anything, we have to believe that they're in on it, that they're fine with it. Where are the investigations that lead everyone to believe that they were doing it on purpose in a political poisoning type situation? Many people are saying that we need to put the military into this either way, because no matter what, we don't know if this is a big fat election F, and we don't know if it was actually swindled from us. But we'd like to ask anyone out there, can anyone at all, please recall some time in history where the people that are censoring freedom of speech are the good guys? Find me one moment in time where that was the people that were good people. Nazis did it with propaganda. The Cubans did it in the Cuban Missile Crisis with propaganda. They shut people up as well. Slaves, Indians, so many people across the globe were shut up before they were put in incarceration. America was in fact unique in that we made free speech, and free speech is tied to critical thinking as our highest ideal and our very First Amendment. This is why globalists, their vision requires the last spark of free thinking here in America must be eradicated, or their plans, they're not going to be able to go forward. So suppressing freedom of speech is a biggie to globalist elites and their new world reset. These people want to reset everyone's money to nothing. Watching all of this unfold over the past 4 years indicates to us anyway that we don't actually have an FBI or a DOJ. We haven't actually had one for a really, really long time now. We keep making all these complaints surrounding lawfulness. However, we have no laws to protect anyone anymore. At some point, we need tactics that work. And we feel like at one point America had those tactics. Now everybody's so scared of lawyers and lawyering up to every little thing they do, lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits, injuries, mounting costs of everything. Everyone's scared to do anything anymore in this society, and the government piles on. But these social media sites out there, time to revoke their FCC license. It's time that us people shut their stuff down. Sometimes we don't feel like we actually are fighting the war, that we are fighting the good fight. We sometimes feel like we don't feel enough pain, but our children might. And one day they will fight it with righteous anger, and none of the Marxists are going to be able to poison them. Your refusal to acknowledge basic common sense and scientific fact has forced everyone to become heartless. There's no place to run. You can try to leave America for a land that's more freer than it's supposed to be now, but this is globalism, folks. They take root everywhere. You're still not going to find a country as free as America. However, America's going down the tubes very fast. Everyone in the globe is suffering from globalism, and there's no place to run. These are billionaires. There's a reason why George Soros is so hard up with the Democrat Party. They talk to George Soros on a daily basis. You better believe it. That man even knew before Congress tried impeachment the first time, he suggested to them to impeach, that Congress would be able to do it. Now, they lost by the slimmest of margins, and it wasn't a success for them. Nonetheless, George Soros said it before they ever did it, so we only wonder, was he the one that put them up to it? See, these globalists have no loyalties to any country whatsoever. They fly in, do what they want in the United States, leave. They go to China, do what they want to do there, stay there for a little while, have a party, whatever, and then they leave and go about their business somewhere else in Europe. These people would just as soon as let you roll over in the mud and suffer because they can make $1 off of you. And you would rather censor freedom-loving Americans because of their wrong think. You allow people like that to run around and destroy your country, but everyday Americans aren't allowed to speak. And in that is a very inherent flaw. We think that people in America have become so dependent on each other and so dependent on other people that they don't know how to operate their own lives, practice their own form of secrecies, and their own ability to keep everything in-house. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Apple, Google, all of these platforms and sites. It is all so confusing, and everyone just gives out their information all willy-nilly. We are already tagged and bagged, baby. Every one of us is carrying around some phone that is listening in. One day, just start talking about cheese, that you want to buy cheese. And just keep talking about cheese. Keep saying the word cheese. Say it over and over and over for a couple of days and see if these pop-up ads don't start popping up the thing that you're talking about the most. They are listening. The internet is a fickle thing. We're finding out that an Italian satellite may have something to do with the big fat election F that we got. If that satellite updated at the very moment that Biden, his numbers just shot up, then doesn't that lead anyone to believe that there was some possible election F going on there? But none of this wants to be investigated by the DOJ, the FBI. No, just pulley ropes in NASCAR garages that are pretty obviously not nooses. We take 15 guys for that, but we can't find out if our election is fair and balanced. They claim that they're worried about election statuses. It's why they don't give out all this information on an opponent, because they want a fair election. We say do your damn job and tell it as soon as you get it. Throw these people in jail no matter who they are. Don't tell me, well, that's Hillary Clinton and she needs to be protected. That's nonsense. Don't tell me that Trump needs to be protected. Don't tell me that Nancy Pelosi needs to be able to be covered for because she's a political person too. These are all human beings. They bow down to the rest of us. They're no gods. They are no better than you or I. So when they're dictating all their poison towards you, locking down healthy human beings, we have to ask you, is this acceptable? Is it acceptable that you're losing your freedoms of speech? Is it right that you can't go outside your door without police harassing you, without other people harassing you? Folks, this is the Great Reset. They're trying their best to cause it. It'll get worse. The World Economic Forum came out and said, you're going to be poor, but you're going to be happy. We find it hard to believe that we'll all be bums sitting in a FEMA camp somewhere, dancing a jig. Anyway, folks, you have a wonderful afternoon, a good morning, a good night, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that around here. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you don't hit the notification bell, you may not get our videos. God bless each and every one of you. See ya.